I want to talk about jealousy. Jealousy is a horrible emotion. It is not even something that is a natural emotion. That's why we don't like jealousy. It has nothing to do with anger. It has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with happiness. Jealousy is a byproduct of envy. When we are jealous, we are prompted at that moment to change our complete mindset. So, we're going to break it down today. We're going to talk about jealousy in a few different ways. So, let's say you're in a relationship with someone. It doesn't matter if it's a new relationship, an old relationship, it's a love relationship, it's a romantic relationship. You're out with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and someone starts flirting with them in front of you. Like they have this person that's flirting with your partner has absolutely no respect. They're looking at them with their googly eyes. They're smiling. They're giggling. They may even be touching them on their shoulder or, complimenting them. That feels so gross, to you, the person who is witnessing the person that they love being flirted with. That feels so gross. It feels so uncomfortable. It's hard to get used to. And that's when we become territorial. Okay, that's territorial. That's a very normal feeling when you're feeling like, I don't want that person near my man or my woman. So don't think that that is wrong. That is territorial. That's when you're a kid and you have a toy, you want to make sure that that's your toy. You don't want anyone else playing with it. So it's a natural response. It's a natural defense mechanism for you to feel like that's mine. Don't go near it, right? That's just how we are. We're territorial. But the key is what you do next. What you do next is the make it or break it. What is going to make you seem like the jealous one? It does not mean when you're territorial that you should speak up to the person that's flirting with your mate. Your partner should be speaking up. Your partner should pull you close and pull you near and say, oh, yeah, as that person's flirting with you, and make it obvious that they are loving on you. You're their boo. You're their bae. Okay, that's what your partner needs to do, not you. It's not your place to reinforce the relationship at that moment. If your partner's not doing it and, it's the first time that it's ever happened, then after it happens, speak up. You're allowed to speak up. Don't fight and argue and holler and scream, but just say, hey, that really felt uncomfortable. See what they say. And if they're like, they agree with you and they're like, yeah, like, what was that person doing all over me? I didn't know what to do. And then you just make an alliance with your partner and you just say, the next time it happens, just grab me close and make it obvious that you and I love each other and we are inseparable. And I'll do the same to you when someone does that to me. And make sure you do that. Okay? Now, if your partner is flirting with the person, wait, let's back up a little bit. Let's go back to you not freaking out. Don't freak out in front of the person that's doing it, and don't freak out on your mate after the person's gone. Okay, like I said, your partner needs to know. Now, after your partner knows the new rules and they allow the flirting to happen again, don't stand and watch it if you don't have to. At all. Remove yourself from the situation if you're at a bar, if you're at a club, if you're at a party, or if you're at a grocery store or whatever. Just smile, look around, or engage yourself in the conversation. Like, I'm not saying walk away from your mate. No. But if you see that this person is very overbearing, then it might be that you need to walk away for a quick minute to let your mate know that, hey, I'm not having this, and I'm getting my back up in the air a little bit. Don't walk away with anger. Just say to them, hey, I'll be right back. If it's in a grocery store, because I had it happen to me in a grocery store before. If it's in a grocery store, just say, hey, give me one moment. Walk down the aisle a little bit. Pretend that you're looking at a product. Grab it and then go back over to them. And then, engage in the conversation. You might have to do that. If, the conversation's going on, then, I'm not saying stand there and monitor it, but try not to look angry. Try not to look upset. Just hold your corner and just chill. In your head, you may have to think about something completely different. You may be fuming in your head. You may be firing in your head. You may feel like, yo, this is so disrespectful, right? So you have to have a go-to kind of movie in your brain. You have to have a go-to thought. Think of a time when you were really happy. Think of something that you have to get done. Think of something. And also remember, now let's go to the next part of the jealousy and partners. Flirting. Now, if your partner is flirting, or if your partner is not making it obvious that you are with your partner while the other person's flirting with your partner, remember this. This is something very important for you to keep in mind. And if anything else that I'm saying doesn't trigger anything at all, and you don't remember this, everything I said when the situation is happening, remember this: karma. You don't have to kick up your feet, fuss, holler, and fight, because the universe is a beautiful universe that works in accordance to balance. And then, of course, we have God. It will happen to your partner. If you kick up your feet and you fight and holler and scream, you're not giving the universe, you're not giving God a chance to have your back, right? Because you're just fighting and hollering and screaming. You're not giving God a chance to be able to stick up for you. You're fighting your own battle, and that's not cool. So what you need to do is wait, because it's going to happen. You and that partner of yours will be somewhere, and it will happen almost immediately. Like almost immediately. Let's say you're still in that same grocery store and you're standing in line waiting to pay now. Well, someone's going to look at you from across the way. When they look at you, look at them and smile. I'm not saying flirt. I'm not saying take their phone number. All I'm saying is remind your partner that you are also hot commodity, because God is so amazing when the revenge comes back. Like, God is a vengeful God. When God sees, and if you're not a spiritual person, then maybe you should just believe in karma. All right. I'm not trying to preach to you here. I'm not pulling out the Bible and trying to tell you what to believe in. I'm not talking about religion. But what I am saying is, when somebody is treating you wrong, the laws of the universe turn things around. What goes around comes around, and it usually happens when you least expect it. So don't get all in your head angry and, hot-headed and everything. Okay, someone flirted with your man or your woman. Your man or your woman did not pull you close to prove that you guys are together. It was a very uncomfortable situation. Tell them, if you can, at that moment, like that was awkward. Or if you can't because you're at a function, you're out somewhere, or, you're not alone and you don't want to kick up your feet and look too jealous, and you don't want to ruin the night either, then just hold on to your pants. Because if you are at a function, a party, a bar, anything of that nature, you better bet someone is going to come and flirt with you, because the energy around you will attract them. They will gravitate to you because you will be in your proper mindset. If you're angry and you're frustrated and you can't wait to get home to argue, or, you just want to just strip off them, then you are blocking yourself from your blessings. You are blocking yourself from God sticking up for you, because you're dealing with it on your own. And although it is so difficult, it is like ripping out teeth, ripping out hair when you are ignoring the jealousy. Put it at bay. The jealousy is not your friend. Jealousy is married to envy, and you do not need to be envious, and you do not need to be jealous. If that person is for you, they will treat you the way you need to be treated. Don't be holding on to someone that's not good for you. You know your worth. Even though you may forget it sometimes, you still know it. So remember, you're jealous, you're feeling that, anger, you feel like you want to rip a strip off them. Focus. focus just in your mind's eye right here, even if you have to just touch yourself right here and bring the focus back to logical thinking, it works. Even just do it right now. Touch right here and you will see that it gives you a sensation all over your body. This is called the third eye right here. It is a very important function. And not only that, it is so important to be able to bring yourself back to reality and not get caught up in the midst of anger, because it's such a beautiful feeling when God comes and protects you and sticks up for you. Your creator. Again, you may not be religious, you may not be spiritual, you may believe in nothing at all, you may be atheist, but guess what? You still have a creator. There's still energy around you that will look out for you, whether you want to call it your angels or if you just want to call it your higher self. There is that ricochet effect called karma that's going to come and slip your partner right up from under their feet, and they will be reminded how important you are to them. Okay, so don't go ending it. Don't get crazy, because what you do when you start getting all angry, you downplay your importance and you belittle your character. You make it seem like you're not worthy. You make it seem like they're your to be all to end all, and they're not. They're human. They're not somebody that is more important than you. Now, if they're talking to their ex a lot, if they're talking to people on the phone a lot, if they're slipping in people's DMs and flirting with girls online or guys online, that's a whole different situation as well. You want to make sure that you lay down ground rules. A relationship is very much like a job. You got to work on it. And you do have to place your standards high, because that's the person you're giving your heart to. That's the person you're laying in bed with. That's the person that you're going to spend your future with. I'm pretty sure you're not wasting your time, with somebody. You really want it to grow into something really, really special. So that's why you do have to place your standards high and make your expectations be known when you are in a relationship, so you don't have to get into arguments as often. Arguments are obviously going to unfold. They really will. They'll unfold over the silliest things sometimes, because we're human beings and sometimes we just get so upset and so angry. And that's totally fine. I'm not talking about regular arguments. I'm talking about jealousy and anger when it comes to somebody else flirting with your man, woman, or your woman or man flirting with someone else, okay? So remember your worth. So in a relationship, you have to treat it like it is a job, because you grow together. There's usually a probationary period to every relationship as well, right? 3 months. Same thing in a job. And a job that you get is usually a probationary period where they're getting to know you. At a job, they want to see how reliable you are. They want to see how much of a team worker you are, how disciplined you are. And they also want to see what you can produce. If you're going to align with the position that they hired you for. Okay, usually takes about 3 months for something like that to unfold, for someone to know if they're good for that position. And also not only the employer to know, but maybe for you to know. You may get into a job and you may be like, oh my gosh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I'll give it another couple of months. Right? And it usually takes about 3 months to either be like, yeah, I had enough. I'm out of here, take this job and shove it. Or, I really like the job. I didn't think I'd get used to it. Wow, this is really great. 3 months in, it's fabulous. Same thing with relationships. It may be so amazing at first. This person may be texting you, calling you, asking you, what did you eat for dinner? Did you eat breakfast? How was your day? Play music for you, send videos of like love and romance, and even buy you gifts, take you out for dinner, take you out for dates. And it's so wonderful and beautiful. And they're introducing you to their friends and you feel like everything's on fire. It's amazing and it's awesome. And then the 3rd month, everything starts falling off. And you're like, what's going on? And you start panicking, right? That's called the probationary period. They're now showing you their true colors. If they are not continuing with what they did from the beginning of the relationship, then that's usually for one of two reasons. One, they lost interest. Or two, they faked it from the start. They faked it from the start and they can't keep up the facade any longer. All right. So that's just a given. So really, when you get into a relationship, and your man or your woman is doing that from the beginning, sneaking in people's DMs, liking all their photos. If you're okay with that and you don't mind that type of relationship because you're so secure within yourself and secure within them, then hey, all the power to you. You have a mature relationship where you really don't worry about all that stuff, and that's fine. But we're talking about jealousy today. So we're talking about people that don't like that stuff and people that do get jealous. And they just they get so jealous that they could be fit to tide, be fit. I mean, they can just feel like, whoa, the world's crashing in. I just want to, stop everything and just cuss this person out. Right? So that jealousy, that deep-seated jealousy can really destroy a relationship as well. Sometimes your mate is just so in love with you, but they're also a very social person and they're all over everyone's photos and they're liking the photos and they're hearting the photos and they're just so social, right? You have to understand that maybe you got to get used to your person. Right? If there's got to be some type of a balance. If they're a social person and you just know that about them, try not to get angry and try to hold it within yourself to know that they love you, especially if they're posting photos about you online and you guys are showing each other on your stories and sharing stories and stuff of that nature on Instagram, and you guys are in a relationship on Facebook and all that stuff, right? And they are already showing you that level of respect, then try not to be too controlling, because it could be just that your mate is social. If they are slipping in people's DMs and flirting, if they are saying inappropriate things online, then again, you got to draw that back in and you got to just tell them that makes me feel very uncomfortable, because that special language should be used for me. That special language should be our love language between the two of us. I don't mind if, you like someone's photo. I don't mind if you say that's a nice photo, but try not to use the language of flirty words like, oh my gosh, you look really beautiful. Holy, you made my heart stop. Or, look at you. Wow, girl. Wow, dude. Like, you want to make sure that your mate has a certain type of language. If you are a jealous person, let them know right out the gate that you're territorial. Don't tell your mate that you are jealous. Don't say, oh, I'm a very jealous person. Don't name yourself that. Don't own that, because you're not jealous. Chances are you're territorial and you don't know how to deal with it. You're just a territorial person. Someone is walking on your land. They're jumping over your fence. They are infringing upon your privacy, and it's making you feel uncomfortable. You want to protect what's yours, and that's a normal human response. So don't take it on and don't call yourself jealous, because once you start claiming something, it becomes that, and then it's like a roller coaster effect. It's like a snowball effect. It starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you get to a point where you just get jealous at the kick of a ball. And then all of a sudden you seem like the toxic one in the relationship and the dysfunctional one that never ever seems like, they want their mate to go out, talk to anyone, or even have fun with their own friends. Right? So you also have to be able to control yourself. Okay? Don't try to just control your mate. Control yourself. That's very important. Now, I hope you got some good gems there about relationships.